Hello students, welcome to my online class. So in this lecture, I will show that kernel of homomorphism forms a subspace. So in previous discussions, we have defined how a set V under the binary operations addition and multiplication forms a vector space, and then we have also seen the definition for a subspace as well as kernel of homomorphism. So let U and V are vector spaces over the field F, and T is a function from U into V is a homomorphism. Here T is a homomorphism means what? T of U1 plus U2 equals to T of U1 plus T of U2, and T of alpha U1 equals to alpha into T of U1 for all U1 and U2 in the vector space U, and for all alpha in the field F. Next, this is the set kernel of T. T is a homomorphism. So this is the set kernel of homomorphism. So in kernel of homomorphism, we have elements from the domain space U such that the elements maps to 0. Means what? The set kernel of T is a subset of the vector space U in which all the elements maps to the element 0 in the vector space V. Now we will show that kernel of T is a subspace of U. Kernel of T is a subspace of U. So by the definition of homomorphism, we have T of alpha U1 plus beta U2. So by the first property of definition of homomorphism, T of alpha U1 plus T of beta U2 equals to T of alpha U1 plus T of beta U2, which equals to, by the second property, alpha into T of U1 plus beta into T of U2. Now since U1 and U2 both are in kernel of T, that means T of U1 and T of U2 both are 0. That is why this equals to alpha into 0 plus beta into 0, and we know that alpha into 0 and beta into 0 are 0. So 0 plus 0 is 0. That means T of this element equals to 0, means this element also maps to 0. That means this element belongs to kernel of T. So we have shown that for all U1 and U2 in the kernel of T, and for all alpha beta into the field F, the element alpha U1 plus beta U2 is also in the set kernel of T. That means kernel of homomorphism is a subspace of U. Next example. Now we will show that intersection of two subspaces is also a subspace. So we consider two vector spaces U and V over the field F, and consider the function T from U into the vector space V is a homomorphism. T is a homomorphism from U into V. Next, we consider two subspaces U1 and U2 of the vector space U. So we have considered two subspaces U1 and U2 of the vector space U, and we will show that their intersection U1 intersection U2 is a subspace of U. Here U1 intersection U2 means common elements, means the elements which are both in U1 as well as U2. So we will show that this set is a subspace. So for this purpose we consider arbitrary elements U1 and U2 in the set U1 intersection U2 and arbitrary scalars alpha beta in the field F. Next, since U1 is a subspace of U, we have, if U1 U2 belongs to U1, alpha beta belongs to the field F. So by the definition of subspace, this implies that alpha U1 plus beta U2 is in U1. Similarly, U2 is also a subspace of U, and since U1 U2 is in U2 and the scalars alpha beta are in the field F, so by the definition of subspace, this implies that alpha U1 plus beta U2 is also in U2. That means this element alpha U1 plus beta U2 is in U1 as well as is in U2. That means this element is in the both sets U1 and U2. So we have shown that if U1 and U2 are in the intersection of U1 and U2, and if alpha beta are scalars in the field F, so this implies that alpha U1 plus beta U2 belongs to the set U1 intersection U2. That means we have shown that intersection of two subspaces U1 and U2 is also a subspace. Next, we will prove one lemma. So the statement is, if V is a vector space over the field F, then we are required to prove these four conditions. First condition is alpha into 0 equals to 0 for alpha in the field F. Next, 0 into V equals to 0 for V in the vector space V. Third condition is minus alpha into V equals to minus in bracket alpha into V for a scalar alpha in the field F and for a vector V in the vector space V. And next, if alpha not equals to 0, then alpha into V equals to 0 implies that V equals to 0. So first we will consider these two conditions. In first condition, alpha is a scalar whereas 0 is a scalar. Alpha is a scalar and 0 is a vector. In second condition, 0 is a scalar and V is a vector. So proof, consider. So we know that alpha plus 0 equals to, we know that alpha into 0 plus 0 equals to alpha into 0 and 0 equals to 0 plus 0. So we have written alpha into 0 equals to alpha into 0 plus 0. And we know that alpha into V plus W equals to alpha into V plus alpha into W. That is why alpha into 0 plus 0 equals to alpha into 0 plus alpha into 0. So by the cancellation law, we cancel this alpha into 0 and this alpha into 0. So we get this 0 equals to alpha into 0. Next, second condition, we know that 0 into V plus 0 equals to 0 into V. Again 0 equals to 0 plus 0. This 0 equals to 0 plus 0, and by the eighth condition, we know that alpha plus beta into V equals to alpha into V plus beta into V. So that is why 0 plus 0 into V equals to 0 into V plus 0 into V. So by the cancellation law, we cancel this 0 into V with this 0 into V. So we get this 0 equals to 0 into V. Next, third condition, we have to show that this minus alpha into V equals to minus alpha minus into alpha V. So we know that 0 equals to 0 into V, and 0 is nothing but alpha minus alpha into V. So by the eighth property, we have alpha into V, alpha minus alpha into V equals to alpha plus in bracket minus alpha into V, which equals to alpha into V plus minus alpha into V, and we also know that 0 equals to alpha V minus alpha V, and we know that additive inverse of an element is always unique. Here we have additive inverse. Instead of identity, we have additive inverse. So we have minus alpha into V equals to minus in bracket alpha V. Next, fourth condition is, we have given alpha is non-zero. Alpha is a scalar and alpha is a non-zero. We know that in every field, a non-zero element has a multiplicative inverse. That means multiplicative inverse of alpha exists, and we denote it by alpha raised to minus 1. Now consider the case alpha into V equals to 0. Then we have 0 equals to alpha inverse into 0, which equals to alpha inverse is kept as it is, and since 0 equals to alpha V, we have written instead of 0 alpha into V. So this alpha inverse alpha equals to 1 and V is as it is. So 1 into V is V. So we have shown that if alpha is not equals to 0 and if alpha into V equals to 0, this element V equals to 0. Thank you.